Hey y'all, welcome back to another vlog. So this vlog is going to be a little different than what you've normally seen on my YouTube channel. So I really wanted to spend some time in this video to really just share my testimony, y'all. Like, happy 2024. We're now in February, but I really want to start sharing monthly testimonies. So obviously this testimony is going to be January's testimony, and moving forward, I'll share February, March, and so on and so forth. But y'all, so much has happened. So much has happened since 2024 has started, number one. Number two, a lot has happened towards the end of 2023 as well. I feel like 2023, a lot of people said that 2023 was like an interesting year for themselves. And I know for me, it was a pretty interesting year for me too. Like, I feel like I may have shared a little bit on my social media about how 2023 went for me. But to keep it short, sweet, and to the point, I got laid off from my job January 2023. I was thankful and blessed to have received unemployment all throughout 2023 up until August of 2023, y'all. So I've actually been laid off of jobs twice and decided to leave my job and pursue my business full-time once. So 3 times I have been in a space where I wasn't really sure how I was going to make ends meet financially, but God has continued to blow my mind each and every time. But this time, the 3rd time I was out of a job, things were very different. For the first time, I was provided unemployment, which was very helpful. Although it wasn't much, I was very thankful because it helped me to continue doing some of the things that I didn't think I would be able to do. For example, I traveled so much throughout 2023. And because I didn't have a job and my business wasn't really businessing, I really had the time to just travel and enjoy myself, spend time with my friends, and really travel to places that I've never been before. I went to Tulum, I went to Canada, which I've been before, but it's been years. I think the last time I was in Canada for the first time, I was in high school. So I was able to do so much on unemployment, which I was very, very thankful for. And if you've ever received unemployment before, then typically I will say it should last about a year. And when I was provided unemployment, I seen on the form that I had a year to receive it. So when I found out that it was running out, literally the week before my last week of receiving unemployment, I saw that the following week was my last week, and I was very confused. I'm like, how is my unemployment running out when it was supposed to last me for a year? But God did it again. God allowed me to receive a job offer literally the week before my unemployment ran out. So this was the last week of August 2023, and that same week I received a job offer. So when I got laid off from my job, January of 2023, it was effective immediately. And we got a severance package, which was great. It was only 4 weeks worth of pay, 2 checks. And that on top of unemployment really carried me through, and my credit cards really carried me through 2023. So when I got the job offer, reading through the email, I'm like, when did I even ever apply for this job? But in the email, they said, you applied for this job back in March. Are you still interested? Heck yeah, I'm still interested. Like, one, my business, like I said, really wasn't businessing all year. I didn't have any clients in my styling business. And although the job was part-time that I was offered, it was remote, and it was for a company that really aligned with my goals, my vision for myself, and my vision for my business. And if you know me, then you know I've worked for companies that were all fashion brands that I was a stylist for. And my secret to really building my styling business was to work for other companies so that I can take what they're doing and put it into my business and just use whatever works for me. So to be able to now work for another company, another brand that is fashion based, as a stylist, a virtual stylist at that. I was really intrigued by the role, and now almost 6 months in, I absolutely love it. And I'm really thankful for this position, and just the timing of it all has been life-changing. So that wasn't my whole entire testimony, just a little bit to kind of catch y'all up on everything that's been happening. But now, January 2024, I now working at M LaFleur part-time as a virtual stylist, and my business is feeling like things are picking back up. So rewind to December of 2023. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm in a group called Increase 365, which is ran by a woman by the name of Raven Hoquette. Hey Raven. She's from Baltimore, Maryland, but now resides in Dallas, Texas. And she started this group called Increase 365, and I want to say 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 2021 or 2022. So the end of 2022, I actually attended her conference, Supernaturally Paid. Y'all, I did a complete vlog on it, so y'all could check it out here. But aside from that, it was located in Baltimore. It took place in Baltimore, and I was able to attend December of 2022. She had already had Increase 365 for a year. So I'm assuming she started it either at the end of 2021 or the top of 2022. But anyway, at that conference, she invited some of the women, or everybody who was in attendance, who felt the need to be a part of a group. She invited us to join Increase 365. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I just knew that I wanted to build my relationship with God, but also be surrounded by women who were trying to do the same thing, who I could relate to. Black women, but all races, of course, are welcome. But primarily, it's a lot of Black women in the group who are entrepreneurs, who are professionals, and we all love God, and we're learning and building our relationship with Him, and just learning to trust Him and build our faith. So when I decided to join the group at the end of 2022, I didn't really know what to expect. So all of 2023, I was a part of the group, and the group pretty much consists of a GroupMe, which all the women who are in the group are a part of the GroupMe, and we fast together, we pray together. Raven sends out voice messages via email every single day for 365 days, and all of the messages are encouraging, just, really encouraging and motivating us to keep moving forward, to keep pushing. She puts verses in the emails as well that we could study and we could reflect back to. And I'm a notes kind of girl. I got my notes here, so I'm gonna be using this to kind of walk through my testimony. But aside from that, I was in that group it has been for a little over a year now. And every year we do a corporate fast, 40 days of financial prayers. So this year, or 2023, we started 40 Days of Financial Prayers on December 17th, 2023. And I had done this before. I have done fasts before. We were literally fasting all year, weekly. And I feel like I did this once before, but this time around, I didn't really know what I wanted to get out of this fast. All I knew was that I wanted my business to grow, my business to flourish. I knew that I wanted to get better at my finances. I wanted to be better at my finances. I wanted to become debt free and all the things. So this was my second time doing the 40 Days of Prayer, 40 Days of Financial Prayers fast. But this time I was coming out of a year that was a little challenging. I had got laid off from my job at the top of 2023. I was on unemployment all year, was able to secure a job, but my business still wasn't doing what I had wanted it to do. So it was just a lot of uncertainty, a lot of weird things happening in 2023, but obviously I'm still here. I made it through. For this specific fast, it wasn't until a month in when I decided to start really making things happen. And when I say that, I mean like actually being intentional about my fasting time, writing out all the things that were happening to me that were great things that I knew were from God. And that's when I really started to see things pick up, and it just happened so fast. So January 12th, although I said a month in was when I started like really keeping track of everything that God was doing, everything started January 12th. So January 12th was the day after. So we were about 21 days into the fast, the 40 days of prayer fast. And January 12th, I was a little behind on listening to the prayers. So I found myself catching up. And I noticed in a group chat, everybody was talking about day 20. Day 20 is so good, day 20, day 20, day 20, but I had missed that day. So I'm like, okay, let me go back and listen to the replay of the prayer from day 20. And the prayer from day 20 out of the 40 days of prayer, I mean, all the prayers were great, but this particular prayer really stuck with me and really like, I felt like it motivated me to move because of what she was saying in the prayer. So basically she encouraged us to be fearless sowers, to not be afraid to sow into others, to not be afraid to sow into organizations and into other people who are in need, and to do it fearlessly. And for me, sowing was something that had to grow on me. I'm coming from a space where finances are always tight. It's always a challenge. I always got a penny pinch, or I'm living from paycheck to paycheck, or I can't have everything. I have to choose. I have to pick and choose what exactly I want to spend my money on. So I was never the person although I loved giving and I loved helping people, I was never the person that was like throwing money everywhere. Like I wasn't like giving money to people all the time. I mean, I was paying my tithes and still am, but I mean, I slipped up a few times and I didn't pay my tithes when I was supposed to in my business. All 2023, even 2022, there were some times where I did not pay my tithes in my business. And I just wasn't the type of sower that God created me to be, because I was afraid that if I gave money up, I wouldn't get it back, or if I did get it back, it wouldn't be the same amount, it would be less, or all of these like things and thoughts were going through my head, and sowing just wasn't like something that I did often. But in this particular prayer, day 20, she really encouraged us to fearlessly sow. Hopefully I said fearlessly before, because I don't want to be a fearful sower. I want to be a fearless sower. And that means really trusting God, that you know that when you give up something, or when you give up money specifically in this situation, He's going to give it back to you tenfold. Or if it's not money, He's going to return or give you something that will be beneficial to you, like a opportunity or a client or something that could essentially bring you even more money than what you've given up. So that call encouraged me to sow. January 12th, I believe, was a Friday, and I listened to day 20 of the 40 Days of Prayer call, and I was at my uncle's house and helping him with one of his projects, and every time I help him, he cash apps me money. So I felt like God at that point was telling me, okay, sow into the Supernaturally Paid ministry. So at the end of the call, and in the email that was sent out with the prayer call from day 20, Raven, of course, encouraged us to sow into the Supernaturally Paid ministry. Now, y'all, for the most part, it's free for us to be a part of the Supernaturally Paid ministry, aside from a yearly fee that we pay at the beginning of the year. So like I was able to get into the organization with just $100 when I joined initially in 2022. In order for me to get back in for 2023 and 2024, I paid another $100. So it's like for the entire year, Raven is providing us all of this motivation, all of these encouraging messages every single day for 365 days. And all she asked for was $100. So she encouraged us to sow into the Supernaturally Paid ministry and just pretty much let us know that, that's not money she's using to purchase things or like to pocket herself. It's literally for the ministry itself. So if we want to travel, if we want to go on a trip, if the ministry wants to host an event or something, that money is going to be provided to be able to do things like that. I say that to say, when my uncle cashed at me the money for helping him, I'm like, all right, I'll sow this money into the Supernaturally Paid ministry. So honestly, it literally came into my Cash App and left right back out to be cashed app to the Supernaturally Paid ministry. $75 is what I cash app the Supernaturally Paid ministry. So here's my testimonies from January 12th all the way up into the end of January. So on January 12th, I listened to day 20 of the 40 Days of Financial Prayers and felt led to sow into the Supernaturally Paid ministry. I helped my uncle with a presentation and he paid me $75 as always. Once he cashed at me the money, I sewed it into the Supernaturally Paid Cash App. Done. And when I did it, like, I'm trying to remember how I felt. I mean, I felt good. I felt excited. I felt expectant, like I was expecting to receive more. I was expecting to receive more, whether it be financially or whatever in return. And it just felt good because I don't think I've ever sown that much before, to be honest with you. But two, I just did it like, I'm like, okay. It was just like a breath of fresh air, like a weight or something was lifted off my shoulder. I don't know. But the next day, I actually attended a conference for women. So this was my friend Rhea, her mom. She is the CEO of an organization called We Empower Women. And January 13th, 2024 was when she hosted her yearly event where she invites women all over, impactful women, prominent women, y'all. It was so many women in there. One of the women who was in the room, she founded the Crown Act. Another woman who was in the room was the founder of Black Girls Vote. Another woman in the room was Westmore, our Governor Westmore, his mom. Another woman in the room was Maya Rockeymoore Cumming. But y'all, it was some prominent women in that room. I had no idea these women were going to be in the room. And Rhea had invited me to the event like maybe a month before, but I didn't know what to expect. So that next day, I was able to attend the event and meet all of these women. Although a lot of these women, and that reminds me, I need to follow up with one of them, a couple of them actually. Anyway, although I was able to meet and connect with all of these women, I wasn't like there to like really look for clients or anything. I just wanted to be in the room, to be a part of the conversation. And the conversation was good. Y'all, Gammy was also there too. I didn't really know who she was until, of course, Red Table Talk came out, but I didn't even watch Red Table Talk. She was one of the panelists. So like all these prominent women were in the room, y'all. I didn't know none of this. So on January 13th, I attended the We Empower Women brunch and met some amazing women. And that event was such a good event. Me and Rhea sat together and the food was good. The atmosphere was so beautiful. And it was just a great time, y'all. So that Sunday on January 14th, I had to work. So I had took off of work for the 13th just to attend that conference. And on January 14th was a Sunday, I had to work at MM Y'all, on January 14th, I connected with a client at MM who asked about SCB Luxury Styling, my styling business. So y'all, I have been working at MM LaFleur at this point since August, the end of August, the start of September of 2023. And January 14th to be exact, I worked from home on a Sunday, meeting with clients. This one particular woman was so intrigued by what I was doing, how I was handling her and how I was serving her. She wanted to know more about me. She's like, you're so passionate about what you do. Like, do you do this all the time? You must really, really love doing this. Are you full-time in this? I'm like, no, I'm actually part-time working with MM. She's like, oh, wow. So what do you do full-time? I'm like, I actually have a styling business, SCB Luxury Styling. I started styling in 2013, like just really shared my story. She was so fascinated with me, y'all. She's like, so how can I work with you? Like, how can I work with your business? I said, oh, okay, well, this is how it works. This is how much it is. And what I can do is I can send you an email that breaks all of that down, and you can schedule a style breakthrough session with me to get started. So y'all, sent that email the next day. And it's so funny, another backstory. All throughout 2023, I also was able to work with a few different mentors. One of the mentors that I worked with knew that I had a part-time job at Emma LaFleur, pretty much working with women who basically aligned with who my audience was at SCB Luxury Styling. So she asked me, she's like, well, why don't you speak to the clients while you're working about your business? I'm like, that's a little iffy. Like, I don't know. We only get a certain amount of time and the women are there to receive what they came for. I would really have to figure out how that's gonna work. Like, I don't really know. I don't know that I feel comfortable. She's like, well, is there a conflict of interest? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. Like, I'm part-time. They know I have a business. Like, they know what's up. She's like, okay, well, you know, maybe you should start bringing up your business during the virtual styling sessions with clients at MM LaFleur. So the fact that she said that, I was a little hesitant. And then fast forward to January 14th to be exact, this client who came through MM LaFleur was so interested and intrigued about what I did as a stylist that she wanted to work with me, y'all. I didn't have to do a thing but be myself. So fast forward, I scheduled an email to go out to her that Monday, on January 15th, MLK Day. So on January 15th, she booked a style breakthrough session. Y'all, I had just started charging for these sessions. Originally, these sessions were free. I literally just added a price to the sessions that month. Like, not even, probably like the first week of January, I said, okay, let me add a price point to these sessions, because when people start booking, I want them to pay. She paid, and she booked her style breakthrough session for the 19th. So that same day, January 15th, she booked a style breakthrough session for the 19th. And y'all, I'ma just tell y'all, like, when you're sowing, tithing, and also believing in God for more, he's gonna show up everywhere. Like, he's gonna give you so much favor. That same day, I had got a wax. Y'all, this is minor, but it still has a really big meaning. So I got a wax. My birthday was January 6th. I got a $10 off coupon for European Wax Center for my birthday. I typically have a package for my waxes, but this time around I was just gonna pay for them one off because I really couldn't budget for the package up front. So basically I was paying for waxes. It's typically like $56 a wax. So on January 6th, I got a coupon to use for $10. My wax appointment was January 15th. I was able to use the $10 coupon. Also, I randomly got another $5 off coupon for just booking consistent appointments with my waxer. So instead of getting $10 off my wax that day, January 15th, I got $15 off my wax, y'all. God's favor shows up everywhere. On the 16th of January, the next day, the Supernaturally Paid Ministry sold $100 into me, y'all. Remember, I sold $75 into them on the 12th. Not even 5 days later, Supernaturally Paid Ministry randomly cashed at me $100. Y'all, when I seen that cash app, I said, okay, I see what y'all are doing. I see what's happening here. I like this. And y'all, another breakthrough point. So I had come to the conclusion and realized that, okay, I need to get back into paying my tithes in my business, because I don't know what and why I keep forgetting to pay my tithes. Like, I'll pay my tithes in like when my job pays me, I pay my tithes automatic, easy. But when it came to my business, it was such an inconsistent thing. And it was frustrating for me because I wasn't always making money in my business. It was sporadic when I made money. And when I did, like, I would be tithing maybe like $3 if I made $30, or like $10 if I made $100. Like, it was so sporadic and random, so it was easy for me to just forget to pay them. Like I said, all 2023 I had 0 clients, so I really wasn't tithing all 2023 because I didn't really have much money coming in, to be honest with you. So towards the end of 2023, one of my friends' boyfriends actually asked me if I could update his website, and he paid me for it. He paid me $1,300 to update his website. I'm not a website designer, none of that, but I've done all of my websites, and he's seen my work and he liked it. So I redid his website. He paid me $1,300. Y'all, I did not tithe on that $1,300 at all. And I did not realize it until months later. And when I realized it, I was so upset with myself. So upset with myself. Like, how? All year I made 0 money in my business in 2023. The one time I make money and I forget to tithe on that money. So when I realized it, of course I had to repent. I prayed, I apologized, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know how I could have forgotten this, but it is what it is. So when I realized it, I was able to calculate how much I needed to pay my tithes, and it was about $144. I ain't had it. So when I randomly got sold into from the Supernaturally Paid ministry $100, I said, oh, this is going right towards those tithes that I owe God from October of 2023. Mind you, this is January. So I'm now just realizing that I wasn't paying my tithes. So very thankful for that. On January 17th, I purchased a $20 ticket to attend a networking event. So this woman, Chelsea, I had recently connected with her towards the end of 2023. I had recently connected with her, and she told me about a networking event, but it was a fee for $20. When it comes to like charging for networking events, I never really understood why people did that. I never got it. I'm like, does this money include a drink? Does it include food? Like, what? So when I see that it didn't really include anything, I wasn't really pressed to go. But something in me was, probably God was just saying like, you should probably go. You should probably go. I'm like, all right. So I sold $20 for a ticket, and it was nerve-wracking because I didn't really have a ton of money in my business account. I knew that I had some business expenses coming out very soon, and $20 really put a dent in my business expenses, or the money that I had in my business at the time. But I sold the $20 and I got the ticket to the networking event. Less than 20 minutes after purchasing a ticket, I received another $100 that was sold into me via Cash App. Y'all, not even 20 minutes later, I paid $20 for a ticket, and not even 20 minutes later, I received $100. What? I was so like, oh my gosh. So in the group me, it wasn't just from a random person. It was from one of the women in the Supernaturally Paid group. So she randomly messaged me like, what's your Cash App? I said, $ Kristen Johnson. She's like, oh, okay, cool. Cash at me $100, y'all. No questions asked, none of that. I literally cried. I'm like, thank you. I don't know why you sold this into me, but thank you so much, because I definitely needed it. On January 17th still, I submitted, y'all, that same day, I submitted a blog post. So I'm also a blogger for a platform called ModSense. Well, I'm a part of their influencer program, and in order to earn money, blogging is another opportunity to do that. So I blog for them, and typically we were getting like $40 per blog post. Cool. And just this year, they switched up the guidelines. So now they have different levels. They have different types of blog posts you can submit for different rates. So the lowest level is $40, middle level is $50, and the highest level is $100. I had tried submitting a blog post with the new guidelines, and they didn't accept it. Mind you, I have been submitting blog posts all 2023, and all of my blog posts have been accepted. But with these new guidelines, they were kind of confusing. They kind of didn't make any sense. I was just a little confused on what I needed to do. So I went ahead and submitted a blog post for like the second time, trying again. And it was a level 3 worth $100. Y'all, they accepted my blog post. On the 17th, I made $100 more on that ModSense post. So I sold $20 and I got $200 in return. You can do the math. Okay. I submitted that ModSense blog post for the second time and I was afraid I would be denied because of the new guidelines. This is literally me writing this in my notebook. I said, but on January 18th, the next day, they accepted the post and paid me $100, y'all. $100. So the next day, on January 18th, I attended a networking event with the intention of meeting 3 people, and I connected with 6. So this was the networking event that I paid $20 for. Y'all, I went in and I was a little nervous because I haven't really been to any networking events lately. This one, of course, was at a restaurant. So I felt like when I went in, like everybody was nice, but everybody was also kind of sitting with whoever they like wanted to sit with. I was a little like alone, but I was able to connect with Chelsea. And like I said, I connected with 6 people. My goal was to connect with 3. I connected with 6. On January 19th, I got paid for my part-time job and received the biggest commission check yet. So at MM LaFleur, what makes it better than my previous jobs is that 1, it's easy. I love it. Everybody is nice. Although the clients can get annoying after a while, but I mean, that's with any job. 2, it's completely remote. I don't have to go anywhere. Like, although Rue La La was remote, it was still very, very different. With MM LaFleur being remote, I'm able to 3, meet the clients over Zoom, y'all. I'm able to meet these women face to face. Like, although it's virtually, I can still see their face. I can still build relationships with them. None of my other styling jobs was like this. The only other job that was like this was Trunk Club. And that was years ago. And we didn't ever meet anyone virtually. It was in person. With MM LaFleur, we also get paid commission monthly. Rue La La, we got paid commission quarterly, y'all. Quarterly. And by time 3 months passed, you know how many returns I got sent in? When you sell clothing and you gain commission off of the clothing and then they return it, that commission gets taken away from you. So it was never a point at Rue La La where I earned over $300 for commission. So to know that I get paid commission monthly at MM LaFleur was just mind blowing to me. So y'all, I have been working at MM LaFleur since August of 2023. Because of the way their commission is set up, their commission is 2 months behind. So, and I didn't get paid commission for August, obviously. I didn't get paid commission for September. I did not get commission, my first commission check, until either October or November. It was November was when I got my first commission check, and that was from September, so 2 months prior. So my first commission check came in November. It was like 300 something. Cool. I got my second commission check in December. It was very low. It was like 100 something, which was kind of disappointing, but whatever. So January, my third commission check. Y'all, can y'all guess how much my commission check was for January? So these were sales from November. My commission check for January were sales from November. My commission check was $850, y'all. On top of my check, my regular just hourly check. $850. Like, never. $850, y'all. That was a lot of money for a commission check. And it would have been more, but they take out, of course, taxes and all of those things. When I looked at the pay stub, my commission, I earned over $1,000 in commission, y'all, in November. So God already knew, like, the money was coming. He knew the money was coming, and he knew the timing of it all. I looked at my account like, did they pay me twice by accident? I was very confused. On January 19th, I had the style breakthrough session with the client I secured from MM, and she was excited to move forward. Although at the time she hadn't invested yet, I know that she will today. I was also invited to speak and share my expertise on a TV segment in DC. Also, my commission check was way more than I expected. So I was pretty much talking about my commission check again. But let's rewind. So we had the style breakthrough session with the client from MM LaFleur, my job, and she was excited to move forward. I sent her over the contract and the invoice, but she had not paid yet. So I was getting a little nervous, but I still had faith. But that same day, January 19th, was a Friday. I got a random email. Y'all, from a news segment called Our Voices, based out of DC. And they wanted me to be on their TV segment. Y'all, it was last minute, but I said yes. And that following Friday, I was on the news. that following Friday. So, y'all, crazy.